Victor when Nick on a lot of DD. Gypsy says that Victor was very dangerous, and the text Nick sent the night before he showed up for the murder stated that she was to do whatever Victor said because he loved to kill and he did not want to hurt Gypsy. Which imagine the person that's going to love murder is saying that like you have to behave because this person likes to kill. So that means that Gypsy has to listen to him. But yeah. But Key was saying, yeah, that was all her that night, yeah. Gypsy was definitely involved in the planning. But Gypsy was definitely involved in the planning of the murder and was present.
Well, you know what?
Wait, Dream, I'm not done. Hold on. And was present but did not participate in the act itself. What I am looking at, okay, is some form of battered spouse syndrome. Gypsy's mother so isolated her and abused her so much over her childhood that Gypsy had no other alternative but to kill her mother. I have yet to find the parallel to the battered spouse syndrome. It is extremely unique. What he's saying is the parallel for that, meaning that he knows that won't be the defense. He doesn't think because it's battered spouse syndrome, but he's using that. That's why he's reaching out to this person. Because I'll read the rest so you can understand. You see, these are the medical records. These are records that Becca Scoops doesn't have. I need a neuropsychological evaluation to determine what the effects are on Gypsy from all of this. I need someone with training and credentials to potentially help to understand what this defense will have to be. He does not even understand what it will be called because it's so unique, literally. Because frankly, the scenario is extremely unique. Y'all need to understand people and not try to twist their words or twist what was happening. You're not a lawyer. Dr. Scoops, you're not even a nurse anymore. But anyways, I have spoken with Pat and Chelsea, and they both tell me that Dr. Fabian is excellent. I spoke with Dr. Fabian for about an hour and gave him the same information that I listed above. He even believes that this case is very unique and that it will take a considerable amount of workup, being that there are so many medical records. Dr. Fabian's evaluation testimony. God, this stuff on here is brown stuff. Let me kind of scrape it off. Okay, I'm about to skip the part. As Dr. Fabian, the state. Wait, I'm almost done. The state has sufficient evidence. However, the state has sufficient evidence. However, her psychological and physical trauma growing up is so marked and so all-encompassing. I believe that Dr. Fabian could help me get to the defense that I need, that I frankly am not what is spilled on this? And that I'm not at minimum able to find a parallel with what I have found. I don't understand. I think he means with the battered spouse syndrome because he knows that won't be it, I'm guessing. A parallel. Anyways, Dr. Fabian charges blah, 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 an hour, blah, blah. The rest doesn't matter. Oh, wait. He, based on results, affirms an expert opinion, blah, blah. Okay, so, do you see? Like, the battle, that was the first defense. And they put it on Facebook, and, like, they tested it out. That's a lie. That's based off of things that I don't even know where they got that from. Because Munchausen by proxy, literally, that was talked about on Megan Pack's thought catalog long before this. Let me tell you when this was written. This was written on, let me see what's the date on this. You ready for this? 12/24/16.
You're welcome to show it if you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I can.
I won't have to, but it's fine.
No. Oh yeah, I can show it. 12/24/16. These notes that I just read, that means a whole year later. So the defense. So he knew about Munchausen, and he even knew. He saw that in the medical records, the ones that he had so far. He was waiting for some of the medical records still. That's how long it took for a lot of these medical records to come in. But so that's what I just read from. Hold on, let me. And what is this? Oh, I believe all the pictures I took today. I believe the majority of the descriptions are okay. No, that's something different. So he didn't even write that because they thought they might have to go to trial. Remember, so he was trying to find an expert for trial, like all lawyers have to do. And he spoke to this guy and everything. They did an interview with Crime Weekly, like something like that. I think you might have spoken to him, Gypsy. I'm not positive though, but I know that Mike did.
I did get to speak to him when we were filming. I was already in prison, about ready to get out. Or actually, it was right before I married Ryan that I got to have a phone interview with him, and they show Rose Blanchard. They show our phone call.
And I was reading that, and I was saying, oh yeah. So when people say that was the defense, no, that was the best way for him, like the grasp that he had on this, because it was so just unique, because it really is. And sadly, it's probably not as unique as people think, but people get away with it. I promise you, there are other people, whether they're children, whether they're young adults, and whether they're elderly people, especially, who are living like this, and we will never know. And guess what? We really won't ever know if we never listen to people to educate ourselves for red flags, because if all we do is constantly invalidate people, then that's never going to help. But the defense wasn't, he knew that specific defense, he couldn't find a parallel, because that one didn't fit. And the reason it doesn't mention Munchausen by proxy in there is because that's not a defense. You can't, Munchausen by proxy, that wasn't the full defense. It was because that wasn't the only thing. Gypsy suffered psychological abuse. Like, there was more than just Munchausen by proxy. That's the medical side of things. Her mom, and yeah, and mentally, and from meaning like from the Munchausen by proxy too, but there was stuff even outside of that had nothing to do with that. Like the fact that her mother wanted, like, she viewed Gypsy as a possession. So like telling her like no one's ever gonna love you except for me, that had nothing to do with the Munchausen by proxy. That was a whole different other thing. It might have stemmed from that. So there was no defense ever used because she never went to trial. But with all that they had, they were able to present that to the prosecution, and the prosecution felt like these was mitigating. Like there was enough that they saw that they felt like Gypsy deserved to have a lesser sentence, but still be punished for her crime. So 10 years they felt like was fair. Like, Mike and Christy told me the story. He said that Mike, they were in an elevator together when they decided that they happened to get in the elevator, and Mike told he was like 10, they had been discussing and they never decided anything yet, and he was like 10 years, and Dan was like, all right, I could do that, 10 years. And I think that the way that Dan talks about it in the show, you can tell that he really did have empathy for you, but he also felt like you should be punished. Anybody who has actually reviewed this case, and really reviewed it, experts, not people on the fucking internet, experts. There is no expert that has ever denied that Gypsy was abused based on what they have seen of her records. Not based on you have to think, Gypsy didn't talk to a lot of these people. Gypsy didn't talk to them. They saw they saw documents. They saw shit that y'all might not ever see. That's what they saw. Gypsy, even with Mike, the people saying like he's the one that came up. Mike didn't know Gypsy or DD. He was going off of what he saw too. Every person that built this case to present to the prosecution for a deal based their information off of what they had, which was what they received from DD's house, from doctors, because there was medical records there too, which is the reason why Mike went further to request them from everywhere else, because there was huge red flags just alone from the medical records that there were at the house. There was a book underneath the bed that literally there was sections in it, and it told different stories of Gypsy's life. And Christy's been telling me she wants to try to find that for me. She hopes she still has it. But it was because you know how your mom, you would probably remember this, did different, if Louisiana, people in Louisiana, for example, or people in Missouri, people still thought you had cancer, but doctors knew you never had cancer. It's that was a way for your mom to keep up with her lies. She literally had a book underneath the bed that had different diagnoses and different things that you had going on with you at the same exact time, but for three different, for people in Missouri, doctors in Missouri, and family and friends in Louisiana. Y'all,
It's like compartmentalizing. She did that with her Facebook accounts too, because like the Snow Gypsy Blanchard account that has a picture of me dressed as Cinderella, that was her account. Even though it was under my name, that was her account for the people in Louisiana. Okay, so the people that knew my real age, such as my aunts and my uncles, okay, so she would keep them on one Facebook page. And then the DJ Blanchard, with the E at the end of Blanchard, was for the people of Missouri that knew me as a different age and also with the E at the end of the last name, okay? So, you know, she compartmentalized, separating the people that knew the truth versus the people that knew the lies. She was smart. She was a very, very, very smart woman. You have to be to do all that.
And also, I bet she was, I bet it's, you know, her health. I think her health probably took a toll on her because, for one, she was so focused on this, but also because imagine, I know you told me one time that sometimes you think that your mom, you like got so entangled in these web of lies that it's like she literally mentally, physically, and in no way could unravel herself. And I mean, you never knew if she wanted to, but you think that, I remember you saying something like, even if she did want to, she never would. It's like she was so tangled in so many lies. And no, you never knew that at the time, but like retrospectively, like looking back, I remember you explaining it somewhere like that, you know, like basically like you don't know if your mom ever wanted to stop but you think that she would have never been able to, probably because of it was so entangled. Imagine 3 different lies, having to keep like 3 separate lies in a way, because I mean, there were things she told doctors that even her own next door neighbor thought differently of.
Correct. And also, what is it called when someone, okay, there's Munchausen by proxy, which, you know, we obviously know what that means. But what is it when someone, is it malingering or Munchausen, that when the individual makes the diagnosis that they probably already have worse? Like,
oh, is that not
to an extreme?
Well, I mean, is that not that's not Munchausen or factitious?
I'm not sure like what the borderline falls on.
I can look.
I wish like I still was in communication with this one lady that was a neighbor of ours, because this neighbor drove my mom to a hospital appointment, and it was in 4th of 14. My mom went in for kidney stones. It was a kidney stone removal procedure where they like blast the kidney stone. Well, she told the neighbor that she had half a kidney removed. Okay, so what is that? Is it malingering or is it Munchausen?
That's Munchausen.
I'm pretty sure it's
Okay.
Munchausen though. Like,
And then she would tell
Proxy
me,
is when it's on another person. When it's yourself, it's Munchausen.
so are you saying that your mom made conditions that she actually had worse, or she made them up?
yes, and that's why in the messages to Nick, where I'm telling him, oh, my mom is in such poor health, blah, 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 because she was telling me, oh, you know, my diabetes is getting so much worse. They're putting me, there's fluid around my heart. I'm probably not, even when the last Disney trip we went to, she was telling people she had 6 months to live at the checkout, the check-in at the hotel counter. Yeah, where could we go? We want to make this as special as possible because I only have 6 months to live. Like, what is that called?
Are you thinking of hypochondria?
I mean, it might be like there's hypochondria, there's Munchausen, there's malingering, and I don't know where that falls.
Munchausen would be if she were making herself sick on purpose.
Okay, no, it's not that.
Oh, but you can also, Munchausen is also exaggerating. I'm like, it just said it's fictitious disorder, which is saying that. So it would be fictitious instead of opposed upon another. It would be on yourself. Like, so say if she like say if she you know she has diabetes, do you think she ever purposely like would like not take care of it so she could be sick to go to the doctor? Like,
She would do it to manipulate me. There would be times that like I would be she would call it acting up, but it would just be like rebelling, like talking back and stuff like that. She would purposely not take her insulin, and that's whenever like her depression would kick in, and she would sleep for days on end. And like she'd get up to give me my medication, give me my feedings, but she herself wouldn't eat, and she wouldn't give herself her insulin. And then she would guilt trip me by saying like, it's because you're acting bad and you're having an effect on me that I just don't want to take care of myself anymore because I don't have a reason to live. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like that manipulation, guilt tripping. Yeah.
That's because she saw you as a possession and she was losing you as a possession, where she felt like she didn't want to lose you as a possession. Like, you know how you told me, like kind of like the letter she wrote you, like when you ran away to Dan's, like when she, like, you know, she left it on the pillow for you, like, and even the talk she had with you, kind of like, it was like, you know, I know you told me that y'all never talked about what life was like for you. It just was what it was. But like in that letter, it was like, she like in so many ways was like, I can't believe you, like you did this to me, like almost all of our life, like whatever came crashing down. It was like this really hurt me. Like she was so hurt by you by doing that, even though you was running away from her. But that's another way she was manipulative. Like, it's like, imagine like a running away from your abuser, and then you come back and your abuser makes you feel bad for hurting them because you ran away, even though you're old enough and you should be able to leave. But like, so it makes you feel almost like bad. So even though you was resenting your mother at that time, you was also trying to gain her love back at the same time.
Correct.
Because you had hurt her so much, and she told you, I think you told me that you said, you was like, some things aren't forgivable, but this isn't. Like,
and that's another thing. That's like, you know, if people don't want to, you know, if people still want to believe that just because I have microdeletion, and I had that diagnosed in 2012, if people
2011 girl.
No, okay, whatever, whatever.
You see?
Around that time. If people want to still stick to that, that's their opinion. But at the end of the day, those same documents that they're citing to prove their point, those same documents was reviewed by the judge, reviewed by all the court system that my case went through. So they're not cracking some kind of case that has already been reviewed, if that makes sense.
You know what? If you think about it, these people, this is going really below the surface here, but your mother, she wanted to get any diagnosis she can get for you, you know? And it was almost like another, like, see, you need me, like blah, blah, blah. If you think about it, them using that to, like, basically invalidate you is the same exact thing your mother did to make you feel, like, confused and, like, you, like constantly, like, oh, we gotta go to the doctor for this. It's like they're basically doing what your mom did to you in a different way, though. Like, you were sick, like, just like your mom was constantly putting in your head. Oh, my
God, I can't believe you're even saying this right now, because I literally have been feeling this way, and I think I may have even told Sheena this. It's like, I feel like, even though she's not even here anymore, like, her control lasts even after. Like, holy crap, she has pulled the wool over all of the internet right now.
It's crazy.
Like, she was that good of a manipulator that even in death, she's still doing the most. Like, it's crazy.
That is so, if y'all don't realize how deep that is, like, something's wrong with y'all, really, truly, like, because that's how I'm, like, because as much as people try to, like, this diagnose, and it's like, I mean, your mom did that they're doing it with one. Shit, your mom did it with all of them, you know? Like, that just, microdeletion, they think that explains everything. Nobody with a microdeletion has every single thing. They're like, they're this, and that. The fact that your mother tried to get you diagnosed with every single thing that's supportive of any chromosome disorder is a huge red flag. Cerebral palsy. You never had cerebral palsy, but your mom sure as hell told people you did. And, like, it's like things like that, because why? That you could get that from having a chromosomal disorder. Your mom knew you had a chromosomal disorder. She just didn't know which kind. And she also never told anyone other than, like, your dad. She never told doctors that. That's weird. Why would you not tell doctors that your daughter has a chromosome disorder? Because if she told her that, they'd get to the answer sooner. She didn't want that. She didn't want the answer sooner. She wanted any diagnosis she can get, but she doesn't want to get the big picture of it all.
Shoot, all it would have taken was me to go see a genetic specialist, because the genetic specialist that I had seen like a couple months ago was able to even pinpoint down to the molecular count of where I'm affected and know what affects me, like from this 2 point whatever to this 9 point whatever. I'm just throwing out numbers right now because I don't have the forms in front of me or the documents in front of me. But the genetic specialist is so trained to understand the human body in the way that they can read this point system and know exactly what affects what, such as micro affected by that. A lazy eye, I'm affected by that. But when it comes to, mental slowness, however people say it these days, I'm not affected by it. And all it would have taken was a genetic specialist to look at those results
Or
and
you're
see,
lazy.
okay, you're not affected by this, you're affected by this, but you're not affected by this. And boom, boom. It would have been blown out of the water.
Yes, but that's the thing. If they would have figured that out any sooner, because they could have since 2008 actually. If they could have figured out that sooner, like because of like, and if somebody would have even wanted to, even took a chance to look 6 months back into your records, actually really look at them, they would have realized. If someone who's not a medical professional, can literally see like the events that are happening, like in like such a strategic way. Now, when you first look at them, you don't see it that way. But if you really dig and research and look it up and find out what this, and that means, you will see the strategy throughout it all, from the first medical records to the last one. And if a doctor at any point would have done that, and because if he would have seen that you had this, and he would have seen like, okay, well, this is weird. Like her mother's trying to say she has this, and this. These are all conditions that a variety of different chromosomal disorders can have. And a lot of them have nothing to do with your microdeletion, but yet she tried to claim that you had it because she went across the board with all the a variety, because there's so many overlapping conditions like that you can have for any chromosome disorder. There's almost nothing, there's not many things that are unique to one thing. It's overlapping all throughout them. And
Correct.
So your mom was very smart when she did that but the only thing is, she was only smart because she didn't tell the doctors that you had a chromosomal disorder. Because had she told them that, it would have been suspicious that every single thing she's trying to say you have to do with multiple different chromosome disorders, some not having to do none with the other. And like, it would have been a red flag. It absolutely would have. And that's the reason that I believe anyway, because what other reason would a mother not tell a doctor that their daughter has a chromosome disorder? Just because you don't know which one she did have. And there's proof of that because your mom wrote a blog and you was only 16 at this time and you was 20 when you was diagnosed. So you was 16 and your mom literally said you have a chromosomal defect. Like you have a chromosome disorder or whatever, defect disorder. Like, so if your mom knew when you was 16, she probably knew before that too. So, and even if she found out at 16, why didn't she say anything at 17, 18, 19, 20? Because she didn't want to say anything, because that would have ruined a lot. But yeah, like that's exactly, I wish people would understand that. And that's exactly what they're doing. And that's exactly why this Munchausen by proxy or fictitious disorder opposed against one another, that's the reason it goes so undetected and it goes underdiagnosed, because it's built on deception. And just like you said, your mother still to this day is deceiving people. And that's the reason that so many victims will continue to suffer and so many survivors will continue to be invalidated, because it's built on deception. And it's going to take society as a whole to stop thinking black and white and realize that cases like this are a million layers of gray. There's no black and white at all. It's so many layers of gray. And until they can do that, like, this will never, it won't change much anyway. And it's sad, but that's exactly what's happening. Like, they're doing, and and it's, that part of it is so hard for me to understand, is how they can't understand that. Like, do you not realize that you're fine, you're healthy, you're walking, you had a baby, you're good.
I honestly don't even think that they believe that I wasn't abused. I think what it was when I was in prison. I was serving a punishment for a crime that I committed with my co-defendant, or at least my part of it, because I don't want people to get twisted. A part which I always owned up to, except for, obviously the interrogation where I was trying to save my ass, as anybody would do. But I took the plea deal. I pleaded guilty. I owned up to what I did. And I was serving that time, okay? And then I came out, got millions of followers, a TV show, a book, countless interviews, was treated like a celebrity, okay? And yeah, there's some profit in that, absolutely.
Less
people
than
started to wonder, why are we praising a murderer? And they forget the victim side of it, because it's like, yeah, I've always said I'm both. I'm perpetrator and victim. And then people were just kind of like, we're supporting murder right now? Like, then it just kind of dwelled on them.
because society is jealous of other people's success.
Exactly. So it was never, I don't think it's even about whether they believe what they put out. I think it's all based off of,
Hate.
hey, I have worked my ass off at a job I hate, and I have 3 kids to feed, and I'm barely making it. But this little bitch gets out and has everything handed to her for murder. It is jealousy. Because you weren't saying that when I was serving time, eating prison cafeteria food, wearing khakis. It was all, oh, free Gypsy, free Gypsy. Well, Gypsy's free now. Gypsy has a lot of money now. I'm not rich.
Do you realize what that cost you, having that money? It cost you wanting to not even being here. It cost you at one point, and it cost you to want to not even be here at one point. So what it, like sometimes, y'all, having money
comes with the price.
It comes with the price. And I bet you would trade it.
Oh, I would. There's sometimes that post that I had put as a thought where I was like, prison was easy. It was because I was having a really hard day where I was actually missing my life in prison because it was simple. I had a routine. I didn't have people judging every move I made. It was like I had my friends. I had people that hated me, but it was like I could avoid those people, I didn't have to go to the rec yard with them. I could just avoid them. We didn't have internet, so I didn't have to worry about 9.2 or my 9.3 million opinions. It was simple. And that's sad. If I could have told my prison self sitting on a prison bunk, hey, one day you're going to be free, but you're going to be put through hell. You're going to be tested. You're going to have everybody breathing down your neck, judging every move you make, calling you a horrible mother, calling you a horrible person, invalidating you. Never in life would I ever have foreseen that.
I wanted to say, I have so many people that I know say to me, I'm sure they say to everybody else here, well, I was abused, but I didn't. And I always say, God bless you. God
exactly.
bless you.
Be proud that you didn't,
God bless
do
you.
what I did.
Because you don't know the depths of what this girl went through. And someone was asking in the comments why Bri is speaking for you. And I'll just say this. Every single one of us here are Gypsy's friend. We love her. And Bri is trying to explain things that happen in a better way. And we can do that because we're friends and we love her. And we have no malintent toward this girl whatsoever.
Right.
And every single one of us will defend her to the end. It is the way it is. Because you don't know the depths of what this girl went through. And until you know that, you have no right to open your mouth and share an opinion. You don't.
Yeah, but also, I don't think these people understand.
We have this way of setting people up to fail, and we just watch and wait and hope they fail. And it's really a disgusting thing that people need to deal with it within themselves. It doesn't have anything to do with you, Gypsy. It has to do with that person. And
yeah, well, I would say that. Oh, I'm sorry.
believe everything you've said. I don't doubt what you went through, and I know all of us here don't, and we'll stand for you. And it's just the way it is.
I've made my choices. I haven't always made good choices. God knows. I have I probably have the maturity of a 20-year-old or a 19-year-old with the way I act on this app. I could be sassy, spitfire. I could be a total bitch. And I have learned that, you know what, that's not never gotten me anywhere. You know, all I'm doing is stooping down to their level and like becoming what they think I am, instead of being who I really am, which is like, you guys know me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a friendly, bubbly person,
Well,
and I'm kind to people. And the sad thing is, it's like people, like, okay, for example, for Halloween, like at first I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna dress up and we're gonna do like a family costume. And then I got in my head and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to take the enjoyment from my daughter. I want her to have her first Halloween and dress up and it be about her and Ken, so they could have a father-daughter experience. So I excluded myself on purpose. I wore a cute little, sweater with some leggings. That was festive. But I didn't join in on the family thing because I got in my head thinking, is this selfish of me?
and you shouldn't have to feel that way. I know that Sheena said something, but I want to answer for myself when it comes to that. I just want to say this. Why do I speak for Gypsy? First of all, Gypsy has been speaking on this panel the whole entire time. Why there are things that I say not for Gypsy, but okay. How do I say this? I really do believe 100% that I cross paths. Like, I believe that Gypsy reached out to me for a reason. I don't think we knew it then, but I know it now. Hold on, never mind. And there's things, sadly, because Gypsy never got to know the things that went on in her life. There are things that I know about Gypsy's life that meaning like the full extent of it, because she hasn't even gone through all her medical records. Like, I'm so thankful that I could be that person for Gypsy. People are like, why are you speaking for Gypsy? Why are you speaking? Do you know that she has been put through fucking hell, not just in her life before, not just lived in prison, but when she came out, like the world, like when has she had a moment to actually sit down and go through the medical records the way that I could? I don't have a child. I have a lot of people that hate me, but I don't have a world of people who not only hate me, but have to make me think to myself, like, am I not, which I pray to God that Gypsy never ever thinks to herself like this, but to be invalidated of my life experience every motherfucking day. You think Gypsy has time to go through every single one of her medical records? I do. I have no kids. Like, yes, this is, people make fun of me. Oh my God, that's all you care about is Gypsy. Yes, this has become, you know what it has? I will admit it. This has become such a huge part of my life. And you guess what? I am not regretful of that. I'm not embarrassed of that. I think that if you can give any of your life to a human being at some point in your life, that's not a bad thing. While I was living 23 years of my life, Gypsy wasn't. So if that means that I have to give up whatever you want to call it, 2 years of my life to defend someone who people invalidate every motherfucking day, if I have to waste, like I like to say it, or spend all my life doing this for 2 years, guess what? I would do it for 2 years all over again. I would be a being who deserves to be treated like a human being. And I know, I don't care if you believe in a God, if you believe in something in the universe, something bigger than us, I know for a fact that Gypsy messaged me for a reason. And y'all can say like, oh my God, like you're obsessed. Like, I don't give a fuck. I would rather be obsessed, quote unquote. Let me do this. I was obsessed, okay? I'd rather be obsessed with Gypsy and fight for this girl's right to be treated like a human being than ever be a piece of shit. Like, be obsessed. No, I would rather be obsessed with helping a human being than be obsessed with dehumanizing a human being. So why do I speak for her? No, I don't speak for her. I speak about things that Gypsy herself hasn't even had the opportunity to take a second of her life to even understand about her own self. I will say with 100% confidence that I know more about this case than more about her abuse, more about this case than fucking Natasha Cooper, Fancy Maselli, Becca Scoops, any of you motherfuckers. You want to know why? Because I'm not doing it for content. I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it because I believe that another human being that bleeds the same color as me is hated by disgusting people in this world, and she doesn't deserve to be. So the effort that I put into it doesn't even compare to what y'all put into it, because y'all aren't doing it for the right reasons. And when I am, Aubrey Rose Knows said it best. She saw Gypsy as content. She said Bris saw Gypsy as a human being. I saw her as content, and I respect her so much for saying that. And that's the fucking truth. I've always saw Gypsy as a human being. I always will. I don't care if y'all make fun of me. I don't care if y'all... You think I care about people making fun of a human being, having empathy, and caring about another human being? Do you honestly think that would affect me? No, that makes you look like a piece of shit that probably needs to unplug you, not me, and do some self-reflection. So yeah, when people say, why do I speak for Gypsy? Do y'all fucking listen to Gypsy? No. Y'all don't listen to anybody. So who the fuck does it really matter who's the one talking? But no, that's not the reason. No, I speak on things that Gypsy does. There's a lot of things that Gypsy, like, she probably didn't even know that she probably, I mean, it happened so long ago that her swallow test didn't come until 7 years after her feeding tube. She probably didn't just know that.
I didn't know that.
But I knew that. So why would I not help her to understand her own fucking life experience? That makes me a good friend. So,
and everybody,
there you go. There's me answering for myself now.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Because, like,
and everybody needs to remember that Gypsy didn't, at 23, Gypsy didn't know what we knew at 23. She really didn't. She was, like, behind. She had to come out and learn everything. Everything.
Relationships. She's never been in a actual relationship outside of a long distance. What she was in a relationship for 4 days, really, if you think about it. I think you and Nick were together for 4 days in person.
Yeah, we were in the outside world for 4 days.
Until the moment you got with
And then
Ryan.
I went to prison, and then I got with Ryan, got out of prison, was with Ryan for 3 months, and now I'm with Ken. And I will stand on this. I'm like, anytime Ken and I was with Ryan for 3 months, and now I'm with Ken. And I will stand on this. I'm like, anytime Ken and I are like, we are having issues or something like that, which our issues aren't like super extreme or anything. I'm making all the fuck ups with Ken. I am making all the mistakes. I'm making all the lessons with Ken. And I give him all the props in the world for having the patience and compassion to put up with me, number one. And still love me through it and still stay by my side through it. There's so many people that are like, oh, it's the money, it's the fame. Number one, he left me because of, me, him wanting me to find myself. Okay?
Ken works his ass off too.
He works his ass off. He has his money. I have my money. We don't have a joint account. And I don't give him money. He pays his own bills, okay? We go halvesies on the rent. So it's like no amount, and I keep saying this all the time. I'm like, no amount of money is worth the headache of the rumors. That man has been called every name in the book, and he does not deserve it. He is a good man. He is a loyal man. He is a man that deserves a lot of respect and praise, and people drag him through the mud. There's no amount of money or fame that is worth that. There's only one reason that man is here, and that is because he loves me and he loves his daughter. End of story.
You're gonna make me cry, Gypsy.
Yep, yep.
And Sheena right now. No, he is a good man, and that's why it
And
makes me
Sheena. He
sick
loves Sheena.
when you got fucking Mimi. Look at Ken's arm. It's so little. Like, that's what y'all care about? And y'all want to talk, and y'all want to judge us for being friends with Gypsy, but you got people like Mimi out there being like, look at Ken's skinny arms. Why do you care about, or like, talking about Gypsy's nose when Gypsy's nose is, she stops the video where a shadow is touching her nose. Oh, thank you, Angie. It's
I
touching
told
her
y'all
nose.
that lighting in the living room is not
No,
favorable.
you looked fine. And she said
No,
I was
I'm
talking about her
legit.
nose. Now I'm gonna talk about her nose. You don't like you're talking about Gypsy's nose. I never talked about your nose. I just dressed up like you and I look just like her. Y'all, I'm gonna show y'all. Let me tell you, I dressed up like someone for Halloween and I looked identical to her. If you haven't seen it, let me show you. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
You even fooled me.
Like literally, I swear I'm still shocked every time I see this. Okay. So this is her right here. Okay. Let me see. Well, that's not good. That's too close up. I think I have one with both picture of us in it, but okay. It was insane. Okay.
That is wild.
It's so wild.
Like, that is like, you could be an FX makeup artist for like movies, because I really thought that was her.
I know if I would have got different glasses, it would have been, and the towel, because she did the she did, because this doesn't even look like me, but that's me. She did the ice challenge, and she had her hair wrapped that day. But like, dude, I just like oh my god, when I was getting ready to do that live, and I was getting ready, and I was like, you know what, everybody was dressing up like different people. I was like, I'm gonna try Mimi, and I was like, I saw this like mask I had, and it had a similar nose. I was like, oh, let me try this. And girl, like, I was like, what the fuck? As I was putting it together, I was like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm so confused right now. Who is this woman? Get out my house. I was like, I think Mimi is in my house right now. I'm trying to find the one with the hair down, but I need to get some images from that live. But anyways, yeah, like, why are you talking about her nose when you're not, like, I never talked about your nose before, but I was like, wow. Oh, here's me. Like, with the gray hair at the top. I mean, it's just, and okay, so here's that, and then look at her right here. It looks just like her. It's just so crazy. I'm like, ah! But that was crazy. It looked just like her, and nobody can tell me any different. I mean, I'm not, but you want to talk about Gypsy's nose, and I never talked about your nose, but like, why are you talking, like, why are we, wait, you know what, I'm actually not even gonna put that, why are we even talking about women's noses? Why do you care so much?
Thank you.
Why don't you talk about her, if you want to disagree with her case, disagree with that. Why are you like, look, like, her whole video was ridiculous. You're like, look at Ken's arm, and look at Gypsy's nose, and look at the picture on the wall. She's a narcissist because she has a picture of herself in her house. Like,
we're not done putting up the pictures. Like, we just moved in. Shit.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Like, and that's my thing. Like, I hang around with people on TikTok that aren't pro Gypsy, but those people don't necessarily, what they don't do is like post nasty pictures of you from like back then, like pictures that are like, they're triggering to me. So I know they would be to you or anybody. Like, I don't even know why anybody would want. Or like that girl that's obsessed with bald heads. That makes everyone. She makes everyone and everything bald. Gimpy Rose. Like, why would you? Like, she has an obsession with bald heads, and like, to me, that's like, what is your purpose? Like, what are you trying? What's your end goal here? Is it just to bully somebody, or is it like, are you trying to make a difference in the world or something? I mean, I guess. You don't have to be making a difference in the world, but y'all act like y'all are. We need to stick to the true, like they're trying to change the narrative. Like, what narrative are y'all trying to do? Because all y'all talking about over there is bald heads and like me having a penis, even though I don't. Like stupid shit like that. But y'all see, I'm dressing up like Chewy next.
Who?
Chewy, the guy. I'm almost finished making the nose for him. Pretty much finished. The nose is everything. I'm telling you, the nose and the mouth. Well, mouth depending on the person. Like Mimi, for her it did, but like
the eyebrows.
Oh yeah, eyebrows. So those focal points, like your nose is like in the middle of your face. So you definitely like gotta tap. You gotta get the nose down, and then hello. And then the eyebrows, yeah, for sure, because like if you do the eyebrows good, you don't have to focus on the eyes because the eyebrows will make the eyes, you know. And then the mouth, that they have a distinct like Mimi's, for example. She has a very like pointy, like it's very like distinct in how like her lip line, like it goes like deeper right here and goes across right there, and that's what made my mouth like just like hers, or like my nose. My nose is nothing like hers, but I put that other thing on, and I had to put the glasses on to push it down. But and her eyebrows are very, so it's like all up in here. So with him, I'm making the nose, and I'm gonna try to do this thing I have forehead wrinkles too, but his are like a little bit like he did me, and it was horrible, and really it was just like he put a bunch of stuffing in him, and then put like a big old like it was stupid to me.
It's a guy? That's very surprising. There aren't many men in the Gypverse community.
Yeah, well, and his wife's the one that's up. You know, oh my God, y'all, wait. His wife's the one that's obsessed with bald heads, and he has a bald head. It all makes sense now. I wonder if she made him shave his head after she learned about you. And she's like, I love bald heads. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just weird. She has me bald, Christy bald, everybody bald. And she always says, bald head ho. Like, it's weird as fuck. I don't know. She was the one that wanted another person, I'm not going to say her name, to be like, she was the one that was that picture of me and Dreamer, and they were like, me and Dreamer, okay? Y'all know who Dreamer is, right? Like, we know who Dreamer is, okay? Imagine someone being like, so there's a picture of me and her looking at each other, and that Gimpy Rose, the one that's obsessed with bald head, she's like, make them kiss.
Oh my God.
You're weird. Like, why? Like, why do you want to do that? That's weird, but okay. It would be weird if she said that about me and anybody, not just Dreamer, but like, that's what makes you laugh? Okay.
Weird.
If that's your thing, girl. If that's your thing, chicken wing. You see, I think things like this make me laugh. Like, you would have to know the story.
Grub.
At this point, Grub is planning his he got in trouble for putting 1999 tags on $100 ducks. He didn't want to do it anyway. Look at him. He's like, I don't want to do this. But
I have like one more thing to say that's on a serious note. You know, kind of going back to you know, spreading awareness. Going back to you know, spreading awareness. So I understand, and I'm fully aware that my mom was never diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy. All of the, if you look at what the warning signs are, my mother fit the category for every single one of them, even down to having medical experience. She was, I don't know if she was a certified nurse or a nurse's aide, but she had medical knowledge, okay? That is one of the warning signs. So even though she was not diagnosed, it was strongly believed that this is a possibility, okay? I think that, you know, with the whole justice for Dee Dee, I see that always in my comments. And I have spoken favorable, I've spoken unfavorable about my mother. It's not that I want to bash her. That's not what I'm trying to convey. What irritates me is that don't praise someone that did something like child abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in prison, child predators and abusers are the bottom of the barrel, even below schmurderers. Schmurder is better than child abuse. That's where I get irritated. Now, if I was not me and I did not, you know, commit the crime, if I was just a bystander that heard this story, and I felt strongly like, okay, you know, yeah, 10 years is very lenient. And I've always said, you know, but maybe not at the beginning because I was still kind of pondering that. But when I was asked, would a lighter sentence or a more severe sentence be fair? And now that I've come to, you know, empathy towards my mother, I feel like even if I was given life without parole, that would have still been fair for the crime. Does that make sense? And I think that Like, I was talking to Sheena one day, and it was not that long ago, and I was telling Sheena that there are some days that I feel a great amount of pity for the life that my mom lived. If you think about it, she was born into a family with 6 brothers and sisters. She was the youngest of 6. Her mother had mental illness. Her father was sexually abusive. And then when she got a little, she was a chubby kid. She was fat. And then when she got a little older, she became bulimic, lost a lot of weight, and then became a beauty pageant queen, whatever. So she could try to make herself something better than what she was growing up. Try to grow out of that victimhood, whatever. And she met my dad, and she fell in love with my dad. Now, by my dad's account, she was a buddy, more like a friend with benefits type of thing. He was not in love with her, but he knocked her up, okay? And he felt like he was doing the right thing by marrying her, but he wasn't in love, again. Okay, so he followed his compass of saying, yeah, I married her for the wrong reasons. So he leaves her, brokenhearted, and now she has a baby. Her father was abusive, her mother mentally unstable. The love of her life left her, abandoned her, with a kid, okay? So she viewed me as, yes, a possession that she felt would not disappoint her. And I feel so much compassion for that broken woman. I can't even imagine. But then, after I was born, then her perpetrator side comes into play. And that is when I have my mixed emotions, and I'm allowed to, seeing as how I'm a part of it, right? So I'm allowed to feel angry one day, miss her another, love her another, hate her another, because I am still healing from all this. And so, yeah, there are many interviews that I'm like, I miss my mom. Then other days, yeah, she was a terrible mom. What do you expect? What do you really expect? I'm not going to say that I'm healed. I'm not. I'm going to have my emotions about my own mother. And I'm sure that anybody that grew up in a dysfunctional household would feel that same way.
Yep.
And there are times that I am still processing. I even told Sheena, I woke up one morning and I'm like, Sheena, I have 2 memories and I don't know which one is real. I still don't know which one is real. And that's when Dr. Flashenstein said that he asked me to stand up in the doctor's office. And this would have been in 2011 or maybe 9. Okay, so 2009. He says that even in the documentary. Now, for a long time, I didn't remember that. Well, a couple of mornings ago, I woke up and it's like a flashback. It's a very faded memory. That it's like I have 2 versions of memories. I have the one that I have been believing this whole time. And then it's like I have a glimpse of another where I did stand up. And then there's another memory that I have that I didn't. And I don't know which one's real. And that's the kind of shit that I am processing. So when you come to me and you ask me, well, did this happen? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when my brain is going to process what happened, but it's not going to be on your time.
PTSD.
Justice for Dee Dee? How about justice for Dee Dee instead of a hate campaign against me. B, let's advocate for victims and perpetrators, even perpetrators. Let's tell Dee Dee's story about how a woman could be so broken. Let's look for warning signs. Let's share Dee Dee's story about mental illness and Munchausen, even though she wasn't diagnosed. Okay, well, let's go on the fact that, okay, she strongly probably had it.
Many people aren't, and they need the help. They need the help.
Let's even advocate for both perpetrator and victim. Because they ain't getting free therapy, so let's advocate for free therapy.
I think what is being
That's the most
missed
powerful
here
thing you ever said.
that you were a child. You were a child and were put through these things. And in my mind, this is me speaking. I'm not speaking for Gypsy at all, so don't come out with shit tomorrow. I feel like, and I have never said I'm glad Dee Dee's gone. Never have said that.
I never have either.
Yeah,
Never once have I ever said that.
Yeah, I do feel like justice was served in its own way. And I'm telling you, if Dee Dee were alive today, we would be burning her at the stake for the abuse that she perpetrated on a child. But because everybody wants to, not everybody, excuse me, I shouldn't say that. Many people want to run with this narrative about you. Dee Dee was a saint. Dee Dee was not a saint. Because saints don't abuse children the way that Gypsy was abused. And again, you don't know the depth of the abuse. You probably never will because it's not your business. But until you do know it, you have no right to say anything. You have no right to say anything